Assalamu alaikum guys. My name is Faisal Abbas and I'm your trainer along with our elder brother Kumail Razvi. We are running this program under IEC Husseini, Chicago. The program is called Introduction to Cloud Computing, and we're going to be focusing on the Amazon Web Services. In today's lab, we're going to discuss about how to set up the basic identity and access management. We have a freshly created account, a free tier account, and we're gonna go further into it and create our identity and access management roles into it. And also along with that, this whole information you can find into the lab section of our Google Drive, which we're gonna share with you as well. So how it goes is you can you open the browser and then launch the aws.amazon.com/console and then log into the console. So on the top right side, once the page is loaded on the top right side, you will see the sign into the console icon. Click on it. Once it's loaded, then you're gonna let me just make yeah, okay, so you're gonna provide your email address for which the one that you use for creating your free tier account. So mine is this. Okay, click next and then provide the password that you chose while you were creating the free tier account. Alright, so you see that you are logged into the console, and on the top address bar you see the console amazon.com/console/home and region, and all those details are mentioned up there. Before we go into that, you see that there are several services what Amazon offers, and you see them all here onto the landing page of your console. You see the compute management tool, mobile, storage, media services, database, and whatever and whatnot. Our key goal in today's lab is to set up the IAM, or Identity and Access Management, under the Security, Identity, and Compliance tab. Before I further go into it, I want to show you a couple of things here, guys. First thing is, on the top right you see my name. You probably will be seeing your account name here as well once you log into it. It has some other icons here underneath it. You see your my account, my organization, billing dashboard, security credentials, and whatever and whatnot. We're gonna go further details into it in our subsequent sessions as well. One critical piece is this one here, where you see that North Virginia. This is my default region, what it selected based on my current location. So you see that Amazon has several other regions as well, which we discussed in our previous session. So my default one is US East, North Virginia, and there are several other regions as well. So whichever region you are in, whether you're in Canada, whether you are in EU, or any other part of the world, you will pick and select whichever is appropriate or closest to you. So this is the default region what I get when I log into my console. Right next to it is the support tab, the support center, forum, documentation, training, and other support related information. So again, guys, the default is which region that you are logged in from. That's where it picked up as by default. So let's go into the IAM section. Alright, so we're logged in. We are into the IAM section. Here, what you see is the welcome screen, and I've been using this account for quite a while now. And this morning, what I did was deleted everything underneath it so that I can restart everything for you and record this session so that you could, take it forward from that point. Alright, so here we see that we have 0 users, 0 groups. Everything is 0 except one role. Identity provider is 0, and all that. Everything is set it to the factory default as of yet. For the security status, you see that I have 1 out of 5 completed. One is the delete user account. The rest is activate MFA. MFA is multi-factor authentication. we're gonna go in details in a little bit. And then create individual IAM users, user groups to assign permissions, and then IAM policy or the password policy. So we're gonna make sure that once we finish this session, we have all these um, areas are covered, and they have the green tick there. Another thing is this is our sign-in link, and the number that you see, the 471 ending with 142, this is my account ID. You will see a different account number in your accounts. So every individual who has a free tier account, they will have their own they will have their own unique identifier with these numbers dot, and then the rest of the information is common across board. Sign in AWS Amazon.com/console. All right, we can customize that if you wanted to. If you want the URL for your sign in page to contain your company information or whatever the information you would like it to make it stand out among other accounts. Let's say your company has multiple accounts, so you can customize. You can provide the name to it. We're gonna come to it down the road. Alrighty. So first thing first, we're gonna activate the MFA or the multi-factor authentication. What does it do is, so what this MFA does is, our classical authentication method is you provide the username, then you provide the password based on the password policy, and you authenticate, and you log into the system or you log into the console. But here, to add additional layer of security, Amazon included the MFA capability into your account. So along with the username and password, there is a third authentication string is required, which is your MFA, and which is your security token that you get either on your iPhone or Android phone or Windows phone. So you have to download the Google Authenticator into your phone, and I'm going to provide the link in the description section as well. With this Google Authenticator, what it does is you have to what it does is you have to provide that authentication code into your account, and this way you're all set to go. All right, so let's click on it, and here it says manage MFA, and blah blah blah. It says it has a sentence there for you. All right. So in order to set that up, you have two options: either a virtual MFA device, which, like I mentioned, you can download that virtual device into your smartphone, be it Android or iPhone or Windows phone, or you could have a hardware token either by your company, or you can purchase from from Amazon as well, and use that hardware capability, hardware token capability to to do the similar work. So here in our case, we're gonna use the virtual MFA token, and I'm gonna click on next step. To activate that, you must install. So I already have it installed on my phone. I took the screenshots of my Google Authenticator of every screen which I am going through, and then I'm gonna put it into the document, and link it into our the comment section below. Okay, so this is the actual or the critical piece. So all you have to do is you have to scan this barcode here, or I'm sorry, scan the QR code, and once you scan it through your phone, it will give you the capability to authenticate your or not the authenticate, actually attach your the virtual MFA appliance into your Amazon account. So I have to provide two authentication codes. So I got 1049336, and then I'll have to wait for that to expire, and it takes, I believe, I think 10 or 20 seconds, or maybe 30 seconds, and then afterwards it's going to provide you the second one. So you have to provide the two consecutive ones. So I provided those, and then I click on the and then I click on finish here. Okay, so my device or my virtual authenticator is activated with my account. Alright, so if I just refresh the dashboard here, and you see that it has a green tick on it. Okay, move on to the next step, which is create individual IAM user. So if I click on it, what capability does it provide? So what it does is, let's give you a quick background here, guys. So what happens is, I logged in with my root account, which is Faisal Data Boss. What happened is, this is the account I created when I set up my free tier account. So Oracle, I'm sorry, the Google, not the Google, actually AWS calls it the root account, which is the account that has access to everything inside your console. So the best practice is not to use that account. Instead, you create an individual IAM user or any other account name, and then use that to log into the system instead of logging in using your root account here. So we're gonna create one account here. Okay, I clicked on it, and then I'm gonna click on add user. So I'm gonna create one user. Maybe I'll just name it as FBoss. Okay, so there are two different access types. One is the programmatic access, and the other is the management console access. Um, uh, Programmatic access is if you wanted to connect through any command line tool or any SDK or any API or other development tools. Uh, this comes in handy. And then the second feature is the management console access. This is the console where we logged in from the get-go. So this will grant the access to this user. So you can create multiple users. Maybe you can grant access to one of the users to only the program access. Let's say you have one CLI tool, let's say Terraform for the IAC, or CloudFormation, or S3 CLI, or AWS CLI. You want to use that capability for the CLI capability access to that one specific account only. And you create another account that has the that you want to provide or extend the capability to the console access only. You can flip-flop, or you can however is feasible with you, you can provide the access. For the password, you can auto generate the password or the custom password. I normally provide the custom password, which I really would like to grant it to, but we're gonna go with the auto generated password for now. Required password reset. The user must create a new password as at next sign in. So this is a feature that if your admins have created the passwords and you provided password to the user, and for the security reason, you do not want your security admins to remember the password for, or keep a note of the password of that user that they just created, or you just created. So with this feature, whenever the first time the user logs in, the user has to change the password. It will prompt you to change the password. This is the best practice for the security. All right, so move on next. Go to the next permissions. Okay, into the permissions, you see that you have several different options here. The first screen is get started with a group. So we're gonna create one group. Before we do that, and set up the permissions boundary. Create user without any permission boundary, and this is that what extent you want the user to to access to your console. So you can define it here. All right, so let's go into the create group here. I'm gonna create one group. I'll just name that group as maybe IEC admin, or you. It's totally based on your company policy. However, they would like to name the group. Okay, so there are several different policies. You see it here. We're gonna grant the policy as let's say we can pick the administrator access policy. So this policy has a full access to your AWS services. There are tons and tons of services or the policies Amazon has. They could be specific to any specific service. Let's say cognitive service or the S3 service or or any other service. So what it does is it grant the access to that specific area where you would like the user to access that. Let's say you have the HR or the finance. They you want them to access only that specific S3 bucket, or you have your sysadmins where you would like to grant them access to everything except the billing dashboard, or your finance team or the billing team. You would like to grant them access to only to that specific area, not to the EC2 or the S3 or any other area. You can tailor those type of access as well. All right, so in our basic user or the first user, we're gonna grant the access, full access to everything. If I click on it here, I will see that this is the administrator access, provides full access to the AWS services. The policy is on a JSON format, and what format is a key value pair. So you have a key and it has some value associated with that. So you do not have to worry about it. Once we go into the security module, we're going to discuss this area in further details. So what it does is currently it has the policy which is implemented back in 2012, and then under the statement you see that it allows everything, all the actions under all the resources or under all the services. It has the allow access. You can edit that, or you can tailor it according to your specific need. All right, so I'm gonna click on it here, and maybe let's just name it as, let's see if it picks up. Okay, IEC admin full access. So we have the group created that has full access here. All right, next, review it. All right, so I have a user created by the name F Abbas. It has access to both CLI and the console. Password will be auto generated. It will require user to change the password at the first login, and then permission boundaries are not set, which means it has access to all the rooms and all the areas inside the building. Take it this way. Okay, the group it is part of is admin full access, so it has access to everything. And then we're gonna click on the create user. All right, so success, our user is created. Our user is created. It has this access key, it has the secret access key, and it has this password. You're gonna see the password and the secret access key only once, so make sure that you download and save it somewhere if you wanted to to keep it secure for yourself. I'm gonna just click on download. I'm gonna come to it later on, and then if I see the so these two areas, access key ID and secret access key, these two tabs or these two areas are for the CLI access, what we discussed, the programmatic access, and then this is the console access. The password is for the console access. You can send the email to the user as well. I'm gonna click show here, and I'll just copy this for now. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna delete this account and everything after I finish this this video. So feel free to attempt to access with this one here. Okay, so these two here, and if I open this credentials.csv file which we just downloaded, and by the time it's opening, come on, please open for me. Okay, it'll open up. Okay, I'm gonna hit close here. Alrighty, so we have a user created with everything accessible here. Alright, so this is open here. Alright guys, okay, I'm kinda challenged on Mac. This is the first time I'm using it. Alright, I'm not gonna spend time on it or waste time on it. Alrighty. Anyways, so the user is created. Okay. Let's click on the dashboard on the top left here. Once I click on it, you see that we have four green ticks here. We created the individual user. We created the group. Okay. Now the last one is apply an IAM password policy. Click on it. Manage password policy. Alright, so this is the policy, if your organization is implementing or enforcing some sort of, the password policy. It could be require one uppercase, one lowercase, or any number or alphanumeric, and, enable password expiration, prevent password reuse, or the password expiration require administrator reset, or what is the minimum password length, your organization, would like to, keep it for your users user passwords. The best approach or the best practice is to have at least one uppercase, one lowercase, one or two digits here and there, alphanumeric one, that would be great. Plus you make sure that you have the password expression policy, mostly for security focused organizations, they keep the password policy for 30 days, that after 30 days the password is going to expire. Some organizations I've seen, they want to expire the password for after 90 days, or whatever the policy your organization has, just put that number in there. So let's just click on all these just to make sure that everything is secure there and as per the best practices. Enable the password expiration. I'll just put it 30 here. Prevent password reuse. Number of password to remember. That password reuse is, let's say I picked up, let's say welcome one, the first month, and then the very second month I picked something else, and if I wanted to reuse the password after the third month or the fourth time or the fifth time, it's not gonna let me reuse that password. And if I just hover my mouse over this I here information tab, you see the number of passwords to remember must be between 1 and 24. So let's just put the number 1 here. Password expiration require administrator reset. That if you need to reset the password, you always reach out to your administrator or the account administrator. He's gonna help you reset the password. This is not the best practice, but if you want to do that, or if your organization is enforcing it, yes, hey, why not? Let's do it. Okay, apply the password policy. So the password policy is applied. Alright, okay, if I go back to the dashboard here, I see that everything is all green. 5 out of 5 tasks are completed. Okay, just a quick recap. So what we did today, we activated our MFA, or the multi-factor authentication, to our account. Then we created the individual IAM user, and then we created one group that for now we granted the whole whole console access to it, and then apply the IAM password policy. So everything is all set up, good to go, done in here. So let me log out from here. I'm gonna log back in with two credentials. One is I'm gonna log in with my root account, which is faisal.abbas. With this account, what I have is I have enabled the multi-factor authentication through my Google Authenticator. So I wanted to show you guys that capability first. So it already picked my email address, and I'm gonna provide the password. Okay, now it's asking me for the MFA code. Open your Google Authenticator on your phone and pick the authenticator code, what it is showing currently. Okay, click submit. Alright, so I'm logged in with my account here, okay, my root account here. So this tells that MFA capability which we just enabled, it's working for us. Okay, I'm gonna sign out from here. Okay, and then I'm gonna sign in with my Okay, one thing I forgot to pick up, I have to log back in here. MFA code again. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into the IAM again. I have to copy this here. Okay, so I copied it here, and I'm gonna go back. Okay, alrighty. I'll tell you the reason. So I need my account number to log in with the IAM user which we created. You remember I created the IAM user by the name F Abbas. Okay, so um, I'll just sign out from here. Okay, here I'm gonna paste the URL which I copied. This has my account ID, and then sign in blah 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 /console. Hit enter here. Alright, so it has the account ID or the alias. Account ID, I have it here. IAM user, if you remember, we created the IAM user by the name F Abbas. And then the password, if you remember, we copied the password. Okay, I just paste the password in, which is not at all um, a good approach, but just to show you guys, how am I, connecting or doing the work in here. All right, so I logged in here. So if you remember, it says, okay, you must change the password to continue. Remember, we set up the IAM password policy, the very last one, under the IAM access management dashboard, where it says we clicked on the option where it says user must change the password on the first login. So I'm gonna paste in the old password, new password. Remember, we activated everything, one lowercase, one uppercase, alphanumeric, this and that, all those are enabled. So let me just pick one complex one in here. Let's see if it picks up. Never. Okay, alrighty, so I am logged in here onto my AWS console. If you see that I have F Abbas at my account ID. It's not showing Faisal.Abbas, which was my root account. Now it's showing a different one in here. Okay, this is the IAM user, account number is this, and blah blah blah, the rest of the details. Remember, my default region was North Virginia, and it is defaulting there here as well. Okay, one quick thing which I forgot to mention. If I go into the IAM, you see that it's shown under the recent services. If you are not able to see the rest of the services in here, it must have been tucked under the all services. Click on the all services, you see the rest of the services are being shown or visible here. Go. Okay, if you remember, again, our default is North Virginia. If I scroll down and if I go into the IAM, okay, I went to the IAM, and you see that my region is changed now. My region is global now. None of my region is enabled. So what does it tell me? It tells me that IAM is a global policy or the global rule that engulfs all the regions. No matter which region you are in, which region your users are sitting in, that IAM policy engulfs everything. It is not specific to any specific region. Let's say Virginia or Mumbai or EU or Canada or whatever and whatnot. So the IAM policy is global in nature. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Feel free to put the comment.